never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you
All right, what's good, man? Let's get into it. A little documentary, as the off season is progressing now. Not that much news, really, to be honest with you. So, we're gonna have some more documentary series. It seems like everybody likes my documentary series, and this is one I've been waiting to do. You feel me? Now, uh, if there's any topics you guys want me to talk about, because I'm going off of just my ideas and stuff like that, let me know before football season starts. We got a little over a month before football season officially starts. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the GOAT is not the best. Now is not the best, all right? So a couple weeks ago, right? I kind of explained this, but I'm going to explain it again, right? So there's always debate about who's the GOAT, who's the GOAT, right? Who's the greatest player of all time? Is it LeBron or Jordan? Is it Mahomes or Brady? Or back then there was a Montana and Brady. Is it, I don't know, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson? Like, who's the GOAT? You feel me? Who is the greatest of all time in certain sports? Is it Messi or Ronaldo for all the soccer fans out there? And then I don't watch soccer, so but anybody who knows, that's the big debate, right? And you know, we have to separate who the best is and who the greatest is. And what I mean by that is right. All right. So let me give you guys an example of this. Because let me put these two guys up. Just give me 1 minute. I should have probably had this up. By the way, if you guys hear any noise in the background, that's my fan. It is vastly hot in New York right now. Okay, StreamYard literally changed their whole. Okay, here we go. Boom. StreamYard changed their whole format, and I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen right now, but I figured it out. Is it sharing? No, it's not. Okay, there we go. Boom. All right, let's talk about it. So, boom. Dwayne Wade and Allen Iverson. So, and I'm going to be doing a documentary series on Dwayne Wade soon about his career, but that's it for another documentary for another day. Dwayne Wade and Allen Iverson, right? So, Dwayne Wade is the greater player out of these two players, but Allen Iverson, pound for pound, inch for inch, is the better player, is the best player out of these two. Let me explain. What me personally, this is my definition. Once again, this is my opinion. This is my definition. When I look at greatness, I look at your achievements. I look at what you did individually. Championships, finals MVPs, scoring titles, defensive player awards, whatever the case may be. All stars, Pro Bowls if you're in football, all stars in baseball. You have to look at who. That's what greatness is. What you did individually. You were able to be a contributing factor to your team winning the championship. You were able to win an MVP. You were the most valuable player in the NBA. You were the best player in defensive player in the NBA, right? So, considering these two factors, Dwayne Wade is the greater player than Allen Iverson. He's won 3 championships. He's been to how many? 5 finals. He went to 4 with LeBron and then 1 with Shaq. Okay, he's like I said, he was won 3 titles. I mean, I'm not 4, 3 titles. He's won a Finals MVP. I think he has more All Star appearances than Iverson. I could be wrong about that. I think he has. I don't think he has any scoring titles, but he's the greater player. That's a fact. Out of these two, pound for pound, inch for inch, I'm taking Allen Iverson. He's the best player out of Dwayne Wade and himself because look at it from this perspective. Allen Iverson is a better shooter. He has better handle. I know Dwayne Wade might be more athletic, but Allen Iverson is just athletic. I implore everybody to go look up Allen Iverson's highlights. Eric Snow, Aaron McKee were all throwing lobs to Allen Iverson like he's prime Shaquille O'Neal. He's faster. Strength, I'll probably give it to Dwayne Wade, but strength really has nothing to do with being, talented. That's just hitting the weight room. But me personally, I believe pound for pound, inch for inch, Allen Iverson is the best player out of these two. But Dwayne Wade is the greater player because he's won more. You understand? When you think of greatness, me personally, when I think of greatness, I think of what did you accomplish individually? MVPs, finals MVPs, all-stars. And we're talking about from an NBA perspective. I'm going to bring in other sports in a minute. But when I think of the best, I think for pound, inch for inch, are you the best player on the court or are you the best player at a certain thing? And Dwayne Wade is not the best at anything. He's not a better shooter than Kobe. He's not a better shooter than MJ. He's not more athletic than those guys. He's not faster than those guys. He's not more athletic than those guys. Meanwhile, Allen Iverson, you can make a case he's the best. He has the best handles in NBA history. It's either him or Kyrie. But if you say Allen Iverson, no one have a problem with that. And you really could argue it. You could say Allen Iverson has better handles than Kyrie. And also, take into the fact that pound for pound, inch for inch, and this is just an extra bonus. Allen Iverson's 5'10", or 5'11". Listen. I don't care what Wikipedia or the NBA says. Allen Iverson is not 6 foot. I'm sorry. Anybody who believes Iverson's 6 foot is beyond stupid. I implore everybody, go look up Allen Iverson and go look up CP3. You will see that CP3 is an inch taller than Iverson. So Iverson's 5'11" in a land full in a league where the average height is 6'6". Is 6'6". People forget about that. Iverson's 5'11", cooking these dudes. You have to be the best to be that dominant, to be that good in the NBA. People don't realize that. Like, people don't realize if you can be 6'6" and be mid or be slightly below average and still have a job. Prime example: Ryan Hollins, Kendrick Perkins. Those guys are, for the NBA terms, they're trash. They're horrible. They're you feel me? But they're tall, so they serve a purpose. You can't be good and be Allen Iverson's height. I'm sorry, you will not make the NBA. You have to be the best. There has to be small margin of error. So out of these two, Dwayne Wade is the greatest, but Allen Iverson is the best. Let me give you another example for all my baseball fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Throwing a little baseball analogy in there, right? So Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez. And, let me just say this first. I'm a Yankees fan. I love Jeter. I love Alex Rodriguez. And second of all, man, I miss these days. As a Yankees fan currently right now, I miss these days right now. Whew. But here's what we're going to do, right? So just like my Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson thing, this is going to go for the same thing of Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez. The greatest player out of these two is Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter, more All-Stars. Did Derek Jeter ever win an MVP? I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I can't remember. I just woke up like just a couple minutes ago. But I don't know, but he has more championships than Alex Rodriguez. I know that for a fact. I know he has more All-Stars than Alex Rodriguez. He is the greater player out of these two. No question about it. Pound for pound, inch for inch, Alex Rodriguez is the best player out of these two because Alex Rodriguez is more talented. He's more athletic. Alex Rodriguez is able to play shortstop, and he was able to play third baseman. Not many people can do that. Derek Jeter can't do that because if he did, he would have done it. People forget about that. There was this whole controversy that they both wanted to play shortstop, but they put Alex at the third. Number one, because Derek Jeter, he's homegrown, and number two, they knew Derek Jeter couldn't play third baseman. The simple fact Alex Rodriguez was able to move from shortstop to third baseman, that's people don't talk about how, I wouldn't say difficult that is, but that's talent. That is very talented. Alex Rodriguez is more athletic than Derek Jeter. You see where I'm coming from? Derek Jeter is a greater player out of these two. He's won more. He has more accolades than Alex Rodriguez. But Alex Rodriguez, pound for pound, inch for inch, out of these two, is the best player. He's the best player out of these two. You feel me? So let's go to another analogy before I move on to my next point. My next point, Peyton Manning. All right, so let's talk about one of the biggest rivalries, and let's put this picture up because this is the last time they went at it. I remember this game like it was. By the way, for anybody who knows, for all the YNs out there, this game, and for all the people my age and for all the YNs out there, this game is literally 10 years ago. Just saying. This is. Man, I'm getting old, bro. This game, I remember this game. This AFC Championship game between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Boy, man, we're getting old out here, but is what it is. So the greater player out of these two is Tom Brady. No question about it. None. Zero. Zilch. The greater player out of these two is Tom Brady. Tom Brady, 3-time MVP, 7-time Super Bowl champion. He's been to 10 Super Bowls. He has more Pro Bowls. He has more passing yards. He has more. I'm trying to think. What else? I'm trying to think. Everything you could think of, Tom Brady had. Every record book has Tom Brady in it. You feel me? Every record book has Tom Brady in it. But pound for pound, inch for inch, Peyton Manning is the best because he's more talented than Tom Brady. Tom Brady doesn't have – he's not as mobile as Peyton, which is really not saying much, but it counts for something. He doesn't have the arm talent as Peyton. Peyton's arm is elite. One of the – people talk about Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, whoever. Peyton Manning's arm was elite. His short passes, his bullet passes, his lobs were the best. Tom Brady doesn't have that. Tom Brady don't got that. He is not a better talent than Peyton Manning. That's why Peyton out of these two is the best, but Tom Brady is the greatest. You see where I'm coming from? Once again, I'm going to reiterate it. The greatest is which is accomplishments. What did you accomplish on the basketball court, the football field, the baseball diamond, the octagon, the boxing ring, whatever, the soccer field, whatever. But pound for pound, but the best is pound for pound, inch for inch, is talent-wise only. Talent-wise only. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's like, we have to separate the two because I feel like, and I see that a lot of people can't discern between the best and the greatest. So I want to put it to you like this, right? And I know this one might be super controversial. You feel me? Let's look this guy up. Tracy McGrady, and Kobe Bryant. You feel me? So let's get a good picture up there. No, let's get them up there when they're youngsters. You feel me? So out of these two, right? Kobe Bryant is greater than Tracy McGrady. No question about it. Kobe Bryant, MVP, 5-time champion, been to 7-8 finals, more All-Stars, more defensive players, more first-team All-Pro defensive players. No question about it. But I know this one's going to be controversial. I really don't give a rat's the best player is closer than what you think. And I can make the case that Tracy McGrady is the best player out of these two because there's nothing Kobe Bryant does that Tracy McGrady can't do. I implore people, anybody who didn't watch Tracy McGrady, and I'm not saying I watched Tracy McGrady at all, but what I'm saying is that pound for pound, inch for inch, there's nothing that Kobe Bryant, that Tracy McGrady can do that Kobe Bryant can't do. You feel me? And by the way, if I keep doing this, I'm just making sure my Wi-Fi is good, so please ignore that. But pound for pound, inch for inch, there's nothing that Tracy McGrady can do everything Kobe Bryant can do. Shoot, athleticism. He's bigger, stronger, faster than Kobe. Kobe's 6'5", 6'6". Tracy's 6'8" and 6'7", somewhere around there. And now, granted, I understand Tracy he played small forward and shooting guard. Kobe was a shooting guard. I understand that, but Tracy still plays shooting guard. Tracy can shoot like Kobe. Tracy can dribble, probably better than Kobe. And I can make the case that Tracy is the best player out of these two because guess what? Tracy's a better dunker than him. Tracy's he can jump higher than Kobe. That's a fact. We all know that for a fact. What's one of Tracy McGrady's best highlights? Him dunking. Him and Vince Carter. You understand what I'm saying? The greater player out of these two is Kobe Bryant, hands down. 5-time champion, MVP, all that. But the best player, pound for pound, inch for inch, is Tracy McGrady. Because people forget how nasty Tracy McGrady is. People forget how dope Tracy McGrady was. Because he didn't win anything. Which, if you value greatness over best, I mean, that's your prerogative. But we cannot forget how nasty Tracy McGrady is. And Tracy McGrady is more athletic. He's a better dunker than Kobe. Hell, I can say he's probably a better shooter than Kobe. If you want to look at the stats, I mean, Tracy didn't take all those dumb shots like Kobe did. Just saying. I'm just saying. So, and, let me bring up another example. Trying to think. I just had one in my head. Okay, here we go. Boom. And I know these are ones, and people talk about this. And Bill Russell. Boom. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, right? And people are like, why do you use a lot of basketball analogies? Because basketball is how can I put it? Basketball is the sport where, how can I put this? Basketball is a team sport that could be individual. What I mean by that is, like in football, like a quarterback, for a quarterback to be great, his wide receivers need to be good, his offensive line needs to be good, his running back needs to be good, his head coach needs to be good. In baseball, your manager needs to be good, your shortstop, your outfielders, they all need to be good. In basketball, we can see that you're good, but the team around you is trash. You feel me? So that's why I use a lot of basketball analogies, even though I just use Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. But basketball is probably the best sport to explain this. But prime example, this is another example before I get into my next point. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. Pound for pound, inch for inch, Wilt Chamberlain is the best player out of these two. Guy's 7'1", dropping 30 points. One of the most athletic freaks in the NBA to ever step foot in the NBA to this day. People forget. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger said that Wilt Chamberlain at like 50 or 60 years old literally walked on set because I think they were doing a movie and literally bench pressed like 300 to 400 pounds off of the wake up. Off of the wake up, bro. Like, so this is probably a better picture right here. Like, and people even said, basketball players in the 70s and 80s literally said that Wilt Chamberlain at 50s, at like in his late 40s and 50s, was cooking them on the court. Like, he never left the court. Like, Wilt Chamberlain is a freak of nature, but the greater player is Bill Russell. Bill Russell, multiple-time MVP, multiple-time defensive player of the year, multiple-time champion, 15-time champion. He's the greater player. Do you understand? I think people are understanding where I'm coming from, right? And speaking of that, I want to give this example, right? So let me see. Just like so, we're gonna bring up two people that I mentioned earlier. Boom, right here. Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady. Here goes a good picture right here. And I'm gonna bring up another guy as well too. when you think of the best, we have to separate the list between the best and the greatest. So once again, I'm gonna use basketball. I might throw in football if I can think of it while I'm talking. So yeah, I just thought of a football thing right there. So boom. Oh, matter of fact, I just thought of two football things. So let me just get this basketball one out the way. So when you think of the greatest players in NBA history, obviously Jordan, Kareem, Bill Russell, Magic, throw Bron in there, throw Bird in there, maybe Shaq. Those are the greatest players ever because those are the players who have the most accomplishments. Those are the players who have the most MVPs, the most championships, the most accolades. You feel me? But the best players in NBA history, pound for pound, inch for inch, obviously Jordan, LeBron, Kobe will be in there probably. But then you're talking about the Allen Iversons, the Tracy McGrady's, the Paul Georges, and I know a lot of people are gonna be shocked by that. Who else? I can't think of anybody else. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head, but I know the Paul George, Allen Iverson, and Tracy McGrady one's gonna be controversial. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to implore you guys, go look up these guys' highlights. Iverson, Paul George, and McGrady. Pound for pound, inch for inch, no one could guard these guys. No one. It didn't matter if you double team them. It didn't matter if you put the best defender on them. They could not be stopped by anybody. They'll stop themselves. I'll say that. They'll stop themselves. Like Paul George is a good example of that. Tracy McGrady is a good example of that. But these guys, pound for pound, inch for inch, were the best players on the court every time. Most of the time they stepped on the court. No question about it. No question about it. That's not even up for debate. That's not even up for debate. Because at the end of the day, whether people like it or not, these guys were the most talented on the court and one of the most talented in the NBA. You feel me? So let's look at a football analogy. So when you think of the greatest football players of all time, we're gonna put Aaron Rodgers when he's with the Packers. I'm not gonna put him up with the Jets or the Steelers. So when you think of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, obviously you have the Brady's, so you know what? I'm gonna separate this, right? Because there's a lot of conversation about who's the greatest and who's the best quarterbacks. All right. And this is just off the top of my head type of list, right? When you think of the greatest quarterbacks ever, right? You think of Brady, you think of Montana, you think of Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw has 5 championships. I think he won an MVP as well too. Troy Aikman, he has 3 championships. You will probably put Peyton in there. People might put Mahomes in there. Who else won a lot? Yeah, that's fair enough. Roger Staubach, I think he has 2 championships. You will put those guys in there. But the best quarterbacks, you're talking about Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers. You would probably put Mahomes in there because he's so talented. Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson. Some people might put Josh Allen in there. Randall Cunningham. You see the difference between the two? Is that one side has all the accomplishments, has all the Peyton Manning, you would put him in the best, has all the Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes list. That's about individual greatness, about what they accomplish on the field. But the best, that's just pure talent. Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, John Elway, for all the old heads out there. Pound for pound, inch for inch, these were some of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. And when you separate the two, it gives you more, at least for me, it gives you a more perspective on people saying, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback ever because of this, that, and third. He might not be the greatest. He's not the greatest in my opinion, but he's one of the best. He's one of the best. Dan Marino's one of the greatest quarterbacks because his talent. Okay, he might not be the best because he didn't win anything, but at the same time, he's one of the. I mean, he might not be the greatest. I mean, he might not be the greatest because he didn't win anything, but he's one of the best quarterbacks, hands down, pound for pound, inch for inch, especially around that time. So let me give you another football analogy before we wrap this video up. Let's talk about Emmitt Smith and Emmitt Smith, right? Smith. Boom. So when you think of, you know what? Let's wrap this up, you feel me? And Barry Sanders. Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders, right? Just to wrap this up. There's a lot of, for all my old heads out there, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because I got, shout out to the old heads out there. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of old heads that pop up on my videos that mess with my videos. You feel me? But is what it is there, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do an old head one, and I'm gonna do an NFL. I'm gonna do a current day NFL one because I just saw this picture of Justin Jefferson. But the greatest player on this between these two is Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith's a 3-time champion. He holds the record for the most. I think I was just watching NFL Network a couple days ago. Emmitt Smith has like 18,000 yards, and the second most is Walter Payton with 16,000. That's so in with the NFL extending all these games and these running backs not getting any benefit. And bro, Emmitt Smith's record is never going to get passed because the NFL, number one, is extending these games, which means a lot of these running backs will get injured. And number two, the NFL is such a passing league now that a lot of these running backs, catch the ball, a la Saquon, CMC, even Derrick Henry catches the ball. But also that, like, they're not going to be able to rush like Emmitt Smith has. Hell, if I was Emmitt Smith, I would have played a few years so I could make it to 20,000. But the greater player out of these two is Emmitt Smith. But pound for pound, inch for inch, the best player out of these two is Barry Sanders because Barry Sanders can do stuff like, bro, go look up the highlights. Barry Sanders, -3, -4, and then he'll just do a little juke move and run up all the way off the field for 50 yards or for a touchdown. He was the more talented player out of these two. That's why he's the best. But Emmitt Smith is greater because he's won more championships. He's has the record for the most. Oh my gosh, he has for the most yards, rushing yards. You feel me? One more thing, Justin Jefferson, and C.D. Lamb. So let's look this up, right? Justin Jefferson and C.D. Lamb right now. This one's kind of hard because, neither one of these players have won anything. I'm trying to think. Damn, this one's really hard. I'm trying to think. I can't think. Because I was going to say, I think C.D. Lamb is the best player. I think C.D. Lamb is the best receiver in the league right now. But people might say Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. Well, you know what? I can't think of who's greater. Okay, I'm trying to think. Dang. Because neither one of these bozos did anything. Okay, I think CeeDee Lamb went to the second round. Justin Jefferson. Did Justin Jefferson ever go to the second round? Dang, never mind. Scrap this one. You guys are okay, you know what? Actually, you know what? Boom. I just thought of it. Boom. And this is more of a kind of off the rip type of thing. All right, boom, right here. So Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, right? The greater player out of these two for right now, and probably going to be forever, because the Cincinnati Bengals, despite their defensive issues and their cheap owner, they're probably going to be more successful than the Cowboys throughout these guys' career. Let's be for real. But the greater player out of these two is Jamar Chase. No question about it. Jamar Chase is the greatest player out of these two. But the best player out of these two is CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, he might not be faster than Jamar Chase, but he's a better route runner. He's more athletic. He's more, I think he's taller than, what's his name? Jamar Chase. You could put him at the X. You could put him at the Y. You could put him in the O or the Z. Like, his hands are better, I believe. CeeDee Lamb is the best player. My personal opinion, he's the best receiver in the NFL. You feel me? So, that's my thoughts. I hope I made a good discernment of this. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with my definitions? Do you agree with my definitions? Once again, I have to reiterate, this is my opinion, my definitions, but let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Let me know if there's any topics you guys want me to talk about, as you know, this off season's kind of dead, but you know, I kind of want to do this last off season, so I'm happy I'm doing it now. RJ out.